Personal Story segment tonight. Today is International Women's Day, but some have gone a bit further, branding it a day without a woman, calling for the ladies to take a day off from work or home duties. Here now to explain why, Leslie Marshall in Los Angeles, Penny Nance in our New York studio. Ms. Nance is the president of the Concerned Women for America. You're concerned.
We all should be.
All right. Are you concerned about the day off some ladies are taking today?
Yeah, not many are taking it off. You know, look,
How do you know?
Because they're everywhere, by the way, and the women who are working and cleaning in the hotel I'm staying at, I asked them about it, and they said, hey, you know, we're here, we're happy to have a job, and we think this guy needs a chance. Because the bottom line is these are people that are angry about Donald Trump being elected. Who isn't in favor of women? You're
referencing the fact that the people who organized the day off thing are the same people who organized the Women's March in January.
Women's March.
Yeah. And so they're angry that Trump is president. But there has to be a theme, Leslie. You're in tune with this crew. What is the theme? Okay, so we're happy to get you. I didn't know whether you were going to be working today or not, but here you are. But why do they want ladies to take off from work?
Well, first of all, wearing red is one way to support and show your solidarity, which I'm doing. And secondly, a lot of women can't take the day off from work, and that is actually one of the gripes. A lot of women, and even some women who voted for the president, are viewing him and his administration are being anti-woman and rolling back the clock, in a sense, with regard to women's issues and issues that women really care about, whether it be health care.
Political? I still don't know why you want to take off from work. I mean, are you trying to get across to the guys that how much we need you? I mean, is that the point of taking off from work?
Well, you know, historically, if you look back to the Montgomery bus boycott, it was 381 days, though, Bill, they showed what they could do with their economic power.
But I don't know what the beef is.
And I think women, being the majority of consumers...
I know what the beef was with the Montgomery boycott, but I don't know what the beef is. What's the beef?
The beef is that the politicians of this country, this president and his administration, are not listening to the women of this country and the issues that we as women care about. And this sends a clear message. You have to look at both politics and the pocketbook. And with the consumerism in a boycott or a strike, that hits the latter.
I think you just made Penny's point that it's people who don't like Trump who are doing this.
No.
Now, is there...
No.
Wait, listen. Is there a legitimate beef in your world, the people that you deal with, about gender equality in America?
I agree with Hillary Clinton that there's never been another time in history that it's better to be born female, and certainly no better place to be born female than the United States of America.
Okay, that's a positive message, but is there room for improvement?
Always. Because
in what areas? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, okay, so women, by the way, outpace men in college degrees, in law degrees, in medical degrees, but we're not penetrating the very tip-top in CEO.
Running those companies.
However, what I would say is this message is so wrong. It should be the opposite. You don't make the boardroom by staying home and pouting. We have told women, and we're doing the hashtag Women Make America Work. Go to work and kill it today. That's how you get to the boardroom. That's how you become CEO.
All right. Are you disenchanted with America because more women aren't leading in certain industries?
We have more opportunity than anywhere in the world.
So you're optimistic.
Very optimistic.
All right. Are you pessimistic or optimistic, Leslie, wearing the red dress? What are you?
I'm a pessimist normally, but I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about the women of the future, looking at my daughter and the next generation of women, and it starts now. Two-thirds of the women, two-thirds of the minimum wage earners in this country are women. They're asking for more money for a higher minimum wage, to be specific. A lot of women are saying that they don't like some of the decisions that are being made with regard to education, and there are people that voted for Trump.
But Leslie, you just have to zero in on your beef, all right? If it's minimum wage, then we understand that, all right? But if it's, well, we don't like everything, that doesn't really do us any good. Ladies, very good. Thank you. Plenty more ahead. This factor moves along this evening. Violent Salvadoran gang, MS-13, plaguing America. It's full of illegal alien criminals. We'll tell you what's going on. And Miller on the best places to live on the planet. Also, Ivanka Trump's clothing line apparently doing very well, despite reports. We hope you... Back to follow-up segment tonight. Illegal alien criminals all over the USA. A violent Salvadoran gang called MS-13 is causing trouble. And not just in the big cities. In Suffolk County, Long Island, the suburbs, 13 alleged Salvadoran gang members have been indicted for murder and other crimes.
4 members of the MS-13 gang who went by the names Funny, Blasty, Flash, and Turkey were charged in connection to the September slayings of Nisa Mickens and Kayla Cuevas, 2 teens found beaten to death in a Brentwood neighborhood. U.S. Attorney Robert Capers announcing a 41-count indictment including racketeering and obstruction of justice against a total of 13 MS-13 gang members. According to officials, 10 of the 13 members indicted are here illegally.
With us now here in New York, Timothy Sini, Police Commissioner of Suffolk County. So this is a federal beef. You worked with the feds on this case?
Absolutely. That's the way you bring these gangs down. You collaborate with your federal law enforcement partners. You know, the work happens on the street, of course. Our officers are out there working hard, keeping pressure on these gang members. So you get the call that these 2 young girls are murdered, right? That's right.
So your guys go out and investigate, and what did you find out?
We found out that MS-13 was responsible, and they went out hunting for a victim.
Did they know these girls?
They knew Kayla Cuevas. That's
all right, because these are young girls. I mean, these are what,
15 and 16.
15 and 16. So they wanted to kill the girls for any reason?
There's a schoolyard beef that was going on between Kayla and these savages, and they decided that she had to die.
And then this other girl was with her, so she died as well.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Now, so you're not a sanctuary county, and you don't, if you see somebody in the country illegally, you don't automatically give them a pass, right?
That's right. So when we arrest someone and they're here illegally, we notify the Department of Homeland Security, and they'll take whatever action they deem appropriate.
Right away. Does it matter if it's a DUI or a homicide?
Upon arrest. Any
upon arrest.
Any
so you know, okay. Does that get the people of Suffolk County going, what you doing? You're anti-immigrant, you're this, you're that? Do you hear that?
No, we work very closely with our immigrant communities. Our immigrant communities are strong supporters of law enforcement.
You don't get any backlash on this guy? This is good.
Certainly there's some, but we do a lot of community engagement. We explain our policies very clearly so that folks know what we're doing and why we're doing it.
But see, if you were in New York City, it's totally opposite. As soon as you cross into the city, the cops are told not to do that, not to, upon arrest, alert Homeland Security. Let's take a look at the Salvadoran gang. When were you first aware that they showed up in Suffolk County, again, the suburbs, and what do they do?
Well, we've had a presence of MS-13 in Suffolk County for many, many years, but we did see an uptick in recent years, 2014, 2015, and in 2016. And why this gang is so dangerous, unlike some of the other gangs who sell drugs for money and they engage in extortion and then use violence to protect that economic activity, this gang engages in violence for sport. So they're particularly dangerous, and they engage in just brutal levels of violence, and we need to do everything we can to get them off our streets.
All right, 14 were indicted, 10 are illegal aliens. I don't know how many had a record. Do you know how many had a prior record out of the 10 who are illegal?
The individuals who were charged with Nisa and Kayla's murder did not have a record. They're very...
Okay, so they didn't have a record. They were in a gang, though, and that's a deportation offense if you're in a gang. How many MS-13s are there in Suffolk County? You have an estimate?
Yeah, there's approximately 300. And
300?
Yes.
And how many of they are illegal aliens, you know?
It's we don't have the exact numbers on that. We obviously collect as much intelligence as possible. What we're finding is that a lot of folks are illegally entering the southern border, and then they're underage, actually, and they're detained by the Department of Homeland Security, and then they're transferred to the Department of Health, and there's a program called Unaccompanied Children Program.
But there's a base of 300 El Salvadoran gangsters. Those gangsters are going to join their pals, right?
There's no doubt.
It's a magnet.
Yeah, MS-13 recruits folks who recently immigrated to this country, whether legally or illegally, and we have to make sure that we put them
all right. All right, Commissioner, we'll keep us posted about what happens, and we appreciate you coming in. When we come right back, it'll be Miller time, the best places on earth in which to live. Miller is next.